guys, it's Lillian. Welcome back to Service Cannon Rosie. I'm Lillian. I'm a service dog and training handler. My service dog in training's name is Rosie. She is right here next to me, as always, being lazy while she's off duty. Today's video topic is how long does it take to train a service dog? We're going to be talking about what it really means to have a service dog in training, what it really means to have a service dog that's considered fully trained, how do you know when your dog is fully trained, and more information about that. As common knowledge, it typically takes about 2 years to train a service dog fully, and a service dog in training to graduate to fully trained. Their training is extensive and very hard. These things are hard to master, and it takes quite a while to be able to get to a point where they can do it without being asked. Typically it takes around 2 years to train a service dog, but it can also take a minimum of 18 months to graduate from service dog in training to fully trained. So when does training start with a dog? Well, some dogs, such as diabetic alert dogs or seizure alert dogs or any other type of alert dogs, start at sometimes 2 days old. Now this is not all of those alert dogs, but a lot of them do start around 2 days old. I personally don't start puppies at 2 days old, but I also am not a professional trainer, and I also do not work as a professional trainer or at an organization that does this. Typically, a puppy is able to be removed from the mother and homed at about 8 to 9 weeks. That is the appropriate time that is safe for a puppy to be leaving its mother and being rehomed to a good and responsible home. I got Rosie the day before she turned 9 weeks, so we started training immediately. We were working on sit and down were our main two. We were working on leave it, and we were slightly working on heel. If I had to go back and do it over again, we would definitely be reinforcing heel a lot more in those early stages, but I can't go back and change that, so at least I know for my next dog. Now, how do you know the difference between a service dog in training, and a service dog prospect? A service dog prospect is a dog that you are hoping to be able to graduate from that to a service dog in training. That is when your dog starts learning tasks. Usually I typically like to transfer them around at about 3 to 4 months. Now you can do it anytime you feel is ready, but make sure that you know what you're doing and don't just be like, my dog's a service dog in training. I did call Rosie a service dog in training when I got her. Now, was this appropriate? Yes, I feel that it was, because I made it clear that she was a prospect, but for people who don't understand the difference, I was calling her a service dog in training because we were starting to learn tasks and things that help me with my disabilities at a young age. Now, was she a full service dog in training? No, she was not. She was a service dog prospect. A service dog prospect is a dog that we are hoping to be able to become a service dog training and then eventually graduate to becoming fully trained later on. A service dog in training is a dog who is learning a task and is starting to be able to come out in public with you if your state allows it. Some states have very vague rules and laws and don't really specify whether you can or cannot take your service dog in training out and have the exact same public access rights as states who have specific, set, and very visible service dog in training access laws. If you live in a state where the state laws are quite confusing and don't tell you exactly what you need to know, you need to be very careful about taking your service dog in training into public. You need to make sure that your dog is already knowing what they're supposed to do and already knowing that they have to perform a task. If they're not performing a task, Obviously they're in training, and as long as you correct them, that's fine, but they should not be making too many mistakes, especially if you're in a state that the laws are not as visible as they should be. Now, what is a fully trained service dog? A fully trained service dog will graduate from a service dog in training to fully trained at around 18 months to 2 years old. I'm hoping to graduate my service dog in training, Rosie, who's a medical alert, psychiatric, and light mobility dog, at about 18 months. This is the appropriate time where you can start considering your dog to see if they're ready to become fully trained. This means that your dog should be able to task without treats. This does not mean that you have to stop carrying treats around with you. In fact, you don't have to. You can carry treats around with you for the rest of your time with your dog. That's not the issue, but you should not have to treat for them to do the task that you want. Now, after they are fully trained, which in all reality, service dogs are never fully trained, and you're always having to do training, either if it's with new tasks or commands, or reinforcing old tasks and doing practice. How do we know when our dog is ready to graduate? At around 15 to 16 months, you can start weaning off of treats and making sure that your dog is starting to behave like a professional, fully trained service dog. This means that they do not need treats for every single task. You can treat them, but not for every single task. They should not rely on treats as a reward or as a lure to do their task. In the USA, there is no such thing as a certification or registration for service dogs, nor is there an ID or paperwork. Not even a doctor's note is required. Personally, and with a lot of handlers that I know, we give our dogs a service dog access test. A lot of program dogs and organizations that professionally train service dogs for individuals with disabilities give their dogs a public access test where they take them into public and give them an extensive training session, seeing how they react to different situations, how they handle it, and if they handle it appropriately. If their dog handles it appropriately, you can proceed to graduate that dog to fully trained. For owner trainers like myself, and those of us who are not professional trainers, and even if you are, it's best to get a second opinion from another professional trainer, you can give your dog a public access test. Now, this can go from other public access tests that organizations give their dog, and you can add in things for yourself, personalized to your dog also. Your dog must go out into public and complete a very extensive test that tests all of their abilities to be able to task and perform regular commands without having to have treats to lure or not relying on treats as a reward. Hello, Editing Me here. I just wanted to say that this is personally what I'm doing. I am doing a public access test. In the US, it is not required. There is not really a such thing as a public access test, but you can look up public access tests and different appropriate dog tests that test that your dog behaves appropriately in public and such. Or you can have a trainer tell you different things you need to do that basically qualify your dog as a service animal. This is not really required at all in the US. This is just personal preference. I personally want to know that my dog is behaving appropriately and is okayed by a professional trainer, so that I know that my dog is behaving like it needs to be, and if there's anything that the trainer says is wrong, I can get that, I can work on that with her, but it's good to have a second opinion and someone to tell you that, yeah, your dog is ready to graduate to fully trained, or no, it's not, you need to work on this first. So I personally do a test. I know a lot of other handlers do their own version of the public access test for their dog, just to make sure that their dog is like really, really ready to be in public and to be a fully working service dog. If you have video documentation of your dog completing all of these, completing your service dog access test, which is what I'm going to do, and have a professional trainer view it, you know, that's good. It also helps for legal issues of if you ever have to take your service dog to court. I personally, with my YouTube channel and with my public access test video that's going to be okayed by a professional trainer, I can give that to them as proof that my dog is trained and she's not a fake. And basically it saves a lot of time. You know, if you ever have to go to court with your service dog, then you have that proof that your dog is trained, because they may ask for documentation of training, and though technically you don't have to provide that, it's always good to have that, especially having a controversial breed like myself, because a lot of people believe that pit bulls are aggressive, and my dog is half pit bull, and I want to make sure that none of that happens. So really hoping that this just kind of helped you guys out, because I know I've known quite a few people who have asked me, like, when do I know when my dog's fully trained, or when do I know, like, if it's a fully trained service dog? Well, you know, it's not really a way to know, but like, this is how you know that your dog should be able to be trained. So yeah, just this is what I do. It's not required, but I do definitely recommend it to any handlers who have service dog training that they want to graduate. Definitely look into doing this with a professional trainer. Your dog should be able to do quite a few things on command without having to be asked, and should not be relying on any sort of reward. After you have done this, you can either do it with a professional trainer personally watching, or you can film it and send it to a professional trainer, either by email, or you may post it on a social media platform and give them the link to it to watch it. You can ask the trainer to please review it very carefully, take notes, and give you notes on critiques that your dog needs to do to graduate to becoming fully trained. If the trainer says that your dog is not ready to advance forward to becoming fully trained, you need to take that and rework on the notes that your trainer has given you that your dog should work on. Personally, right now, Rosie and I are working on weaning off of treats as rewards and being able to perform tasks either being asked or without being asked when it is necessary. I am hoping that when she turns 18 months, by September or November, she will be able to graduate to fully trained. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button down below. Comment respectful comments down below and I will reply to them. If you have any questions, make sure to comment them down below and I will reply to them. And also, make sure to hit the bell so you don't miss a video from us. Also, stay tuned because very soon we have a custom harness coming in along with some patches, and I'm going to be showing you that in a video. I'm super excited about it, so make sure to stay tuned. Really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.
That's what they call me. I promise that you never be lonely.